Okay, so now we're going to talk about related conditionals. For example, we know a conditional is if P then Q. So P implies Q. So the converse of that is if Q then P. So Q implies P. The inverse of this is if not P, then not Q. So not P implies not Q. So if that is for your inverse. And then the contrapositive is if not Q, then not P. So your symbols, not Q, implies not P. Okay? A conditional statement and its contrapositive are either both true or both false. Similarly, the converse and inverse of a conditional statement are either both true or both false. In general, when two statements are both true or both false, they are called equivalent statements. Okay? So pause that, take a minute to write that down, and then I have another way that I have copied it. To me, this is easier. It helps me memorize it. So conditional, P implies Q. So conditional, everything is a conditional. That's your big umbrella. And then from there, you get your converse, your inverse, and your contrapositive. Okay? So I use this. Q implies P, inverse, not P. The negation of P implies the negation of Q. And if not Q implies not P. Okay, so this helps me a little bit more. Those of you may like this better, may want to copy this one down instead. Okay, so let's look at how this will look like in your homework. It says, let P be, you are the guitar player, and let Q be, you are the musician. Write each statement in words, then decide whether it is true or if it is false. Okay, so we want to write the conditional statement, which P implies Q. So let's write that. So if our P is you are a guitar player, you would say if you are a guitar player, then what? Then Q, right? You are a musician. Okay, that is your conditional statement. Now let's write the converse of that, where it is Q to P. So we're going to flip this around. So if you are a musician, then you are a guitar player. Did you see how we kept the if then statement? We just flip-flopped the you are a guitar player and you are a musician. So let's look at A. Is A true or false? If you are a guitar player, then you are a musician? Yeah, that is true. Let's look at B. If you are a musician, then you are a guitar player. Is that always true? It is not, because you could be a musician and be a piano player, right? All right, so we know A is true, B is false. Let's look at C. It says the inverse. So we know that is not P to not Q. So not P. So we would say if you are not a guitar player, then you are not a musician. So let's think about that one. So if you are not a guitar player, that means you could be a piano player. Does that mean you are not a musician? No, that is false. All right, let's look at D. We're flipping it. So we're basically taking the same thing as the converse, but we're putting not in there. So if you are not a musician, I-A-N, then you are not a guitar player. Is that a true statement? If you're not a